Hello everyone, welcome to Thursday's edition of Yesterday in Baseball. We've got 4 playoff games to recap. My name is Luke, and today, like I said, we've got 4 games to dig into. All pretty good baseball yesterday. We had a Detroit Tigers offensive outburst finally. The Cubs lived to see another day with that series being so weird, everyone scoring in the first inning. Toronto punched their ticket to the LCS, so the American League looks really fun at the moment. And we saw some Phillies magic in their electric powder blues, and it's been a long time since we've seen those on the road, so that's pretty fun. But other than that, show as usual, we'll get into our player of the day and a preview of everything tonight. So without further ado, let's travel out to Detroit and see Game 4. The Tigers managed to force a winner-take-all Game 5 with a huge come-from-behind victory to beat the Mariners 9-3. The action began in the top of the second as a Naylor double and then a Dominic Canzone RBI single put the Mariners up 1-0. Casey Mize got pulled after 3 and Seattle tacked on in the top of the 4th inning as they got their second run from a double play ball, which put them up 2-0. Detroit looked dormant though, their offense couldn't get anything done. But Cal Raleigh and the Mariners added on another in the next inning, going up 3-0 thanks to an RBI single. In the top of the 6th, though, is where the things started to turn, and Detroit's offense started to get going, as they had a massive 3-run inning to tie the ball game. We had a Dylan Dingler RBI double, a Jahmai Jones RBI double, and then a Javi Baez RBI single to tie it up, in what was the first time we saw Detroit's bats truly wake up in this series. And it was a good time as they're facing elimination. That closed the book on Bryce Miller, who went 4.1, giving up 2 runs. The Tigers doubled down, though, in the top of the 6th inning as Riley Green crushed a homer to right center, making it 4-3. And then a Torkelson double, McKinstry single made it 5-3. And then Javi Baez is truly back. He hit a long 2-run shot to make it 7-3 and cap off an electric inning and amazing comeback. They kept piling it on, though, as Gleyber Torres crushed a homer in the 7th, and then an RBI ground out in the 8th made it 9-3, which is where this one landed. Tigers won, and the series is even 2-2, and it'll be Scooble going for them in Game 5 in Seattle. The Cubs lived to see another day as they won a close one 4-3 against the Brewers. It's been in every game so far in this series, but the first inning was just full of runs. The Brewers got a quick one as a Yelich double and then a Sal Frelick sac fly put the Brewers up 1-0. Michael Busch got the party started for the Cubs, though, as he hit a leadoff homer to lock it up 1-1. Then a PCA 2 RBI single put them up 3-1. And then a Nick Mears wild pitch made it 4-1 Cubs. That was all the offense needed in this game. It was quiet until the bottom of the 3rd when the Cubs had 2 on, nobody out. But the Brewers escaped the jam on a Dansby Swanson ground out. 3 consecutive singles in the top of the 4th resulted in another run for the Brewers as they made it 2-4 thanks to Jake Bauers. The Cubs pulled Tyone after the 4th. He had a modest line, giving up just 2 in 4 innings. In the top of the 7th inning, the Brewers continued to chip away as Jake Bauer struck again, hitting an opposite field homer to cut the deficit to 1. This game was decided in the top of the 8th, though, as the Brewers had the bases loaded, 2 outs, and their best performer on the day, Jake Bauers, at the plate. Brad Keller struck him out swinging, straining the go-ahead run at second base, ending the Brewers' last real opportunity. That 4-run first held up for the Cubbies as they got the win 4-3 and forced a big Game 4 tonight. The Blue Jays are the first team to punch their ticket to the LCS as they beat the Yankees 5-2. They got after it in the first inning again as George Springer doubled to set up a Vladimir Guerrero Jr. RBI single to make it 1-0. Things were quiet for the next couple innings until Ryan McMahon hit a game-tying homer in the bottom of the 3rd to lock things up at 1. The Yankees gave Cam Schlittler a long leash as another run for Toronto in the top of the 5th made it 2-1, but they continued to let him work. He finally got pulled in the 7th, wrapping up his day with a quality start, going 6.1 innings, giving up just 2. Then a Nathan Lucas RBI single brought in 2 more, making it 4-1 Jays. Their final run came in the top of the 8th as Miles Straw added an RBI single to make it 5-1. The Yankees threatened in the bottom of the 9th, and they got 1 run across thanks to an Aaron Judge RBI single. But that's all they could muster. The Blue Jays won 5-2, clinching their spot in the American League Championship Series. Our final matchup from this glorious 4-game day was a Phillies 8-2 victory over the Dodgers as they live to see another day. Thank goodness they do, because those powder blue uniforms looked amazing. The scoring got started in the bottom of the third as Tommy Edman homered to put the Dodgers up 1-0. Kyle Schwarber clapped right back though as he had a solo shot in the next half inning to make it 1-1. This one went all the way out onto the concourse. He crushed it. That wasn't all, as they got 2 more in the fourth from an Alec Bohm and Alec Marsh RBI, making it 3-1. Not the sharpest outing from Yamamoto, but this Phillies lineup is very dangerous. The score hung there until the top of the 8th, when the Phillies put up 5 runs on Clayton Kershaw thanks to a pair of homers, one from Real Muto, one from Schwarber, and Trey Turner had a big RBI single as well. This 8th inning has been a struggle as the Dodgers have given up over 10 runs in the 8th inning alone so far in these playoffs. The Dodgers scratched across another in the 9th inning, making it 8-2, but it wasn't enough. The Phillies win and live to play another day as they now trail 2-1 instead of 2-0. And like I said, I quickly wanted to highlight one of the unsung heroes of this game, which is Ranger Suarez, who came in with 5 innings of relief, giving up only 1 run out of the bullpen, really helping shut down one of the best offenses in baseball. So, good performance from the Phillies. And those are all of our games from Wednesday. Overall, I was kind of surprised to see Detroit's bats wake up, especially with their backs against the wall. The Cubs kind of win, I don't want to say a fluky one, but the Brewers kind of handed that to them in a way, with that wild pitch being that difference in that game and then not coming through in that big spot in the 8th inning. And then Yankees, they just looked outmatched against the Blue Jays, which I was shocked with. I wasn't expecting that at all. And Philly, a good team win. They shut down the Dodgers, so should make for an interesting day of baseball today, and I'm super excited to see Skubal in that Game 5. I know I'm kind of pulling for Seattle in this, but I'm so happy with any team out of the AL. It's just going to be super fun and different, because Toronto, Detroit, or the Mariners, I mean, all of that right there is stuff we haven't seen in the World Series in a long time, or ever for some teams. So should be fun, and so far I'm really liking this playoff so far. We had a lot of interesting games, a lot of teams with their backs against the wall, and Detroit's offense just looked dead, but Javi Baez jump-started it, going 2 for 4 with a homer, 4 runs batted in, a run scored, and a stolen base. Like I said, I mean, when their backs against the wall, I said this with Judge the other day, you want one of your big guys to come through, and people forget. I mean, they gave Javi Baez a big contract to come in and be the guy. It hadn't worked out the first couple years, but, for everyone's sake there, it's working out now. He's been the guy. He's been getting it done. And he had all that to a plus 22% win probability added, really having a big impact on this game and helping them force a big Game 5, which, like I keep saying it, with Skubal on the bump, it could go any way, I don't think. I don't favor one team over the other, even though I do kind of think Seattle's a better roster. But just hats off to Detroit for the way they fought in the series and their grit. And should be really fun to watch. And congrats to Javi on being my small podcast's player of the day for Wednesday. Now as we take a look at tonight's matchups, we have the Philadelphia Phillies taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers at 6 o'clock Eastern Time in LA. Christopher Sanchez on the bump for the Phillies. He went 5.2, giving up 2 and striking out 8 in his appearance in Game 1. And then Tyler Glasnow on the bump for the Dodgers. He went 1.2 scoreless in relief for the Dodgers in Game 1 as well. Should be an interesting matchup. And then we have the Milwaukee Brewers taking on the Chicago Cubs at Wrigley at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. TBD versus TBD right now at the time of recording. And Cubs have their back against the wall. They need a victory. Same thing with the Phillies. Should be some hard-nosed, hard-fought baseball. Both teams will be channeling their inner Detroit Tigers as they look to get going and force a huge Game 5. And those are our games for Thursday night. That's everything from Thursday's show. Thank you guys so much for listening along. As always, I really appreciate it, and I hope everybody enjoyed all the games yesterday. Some fun ones tonight. I know I'm really looking forward to that Brewers and Cubs game. Should be fun, a little NL Central action. And I want to see the Phillies keep on fighting. And reports are they'll be in their powder blues again tonight, so look out for that. But thank you again for listening. We'll be back again tomorrow on Friday. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day and hope to see you then. Thank you.